You're watching Adorama TV.
Hi everybody, welcome to this week's Adorama TV iPad app review. Well, this week we have an application called Ansel Adams, and it's all about Ansel Adams. Now the crazy thing is, because of the very strict copyright laws that the Ansel Adams Foundation has, we can't show you a lot of this application because they have such tight control over the copyrights. So I'm going to have to tell you a little bit about the application. We will show you a little bit about what's in there. Now, one of the things is this is one of the more expensive iPad applications. It comes in at about $30 to buy this app. And when I first bought it, I thought, my gosh, what is this going to be worth for 30 bucks? And I was very skeptical, to be honest with you. So I started looking through. There are about 40 photographs, there are some videos, there are a bunch of postcards, there are some journal entries. There's an interview that's very famous that's in here. There are a bunch of web links. There's a chronology. There is also a bibliography and some things about Ansel Adams, which I think is funny. They have an About Ansel Adams section in the Ansel Adams iPad app. But what happened was, when I started looking through this application and reading some of the interviews and looking at things that he wrote and started really digging into the way he thought, I looked away and I had spent, I think, about 3 hours of my time just really becoming just wrapped up in some of this Ansel Adams biography and some of the things that he said. And I really started to look at how he did things, the way he developed his portraits, the way he thought about shooting. And so this really was something that I was really impressed with, and I think it's well worth the $30 because you really have an opportunity to get to know who Ansel Adams is, a little bit about what why he invented the zone system, how he applies it. He talks about some of his critics and responds to them. And there are even videos that are embedded in this application that you can actually see Ansel Adams talk about his work and his visits to Yosemite, as well as links to other places on the web. So it's a very detailed application that really lets you look at what Ansel Adams is all about and understand more of how he's influenced photography today. So we're going to really quickly take a look at what we can show you of the application so you get a better idea of what you get in the Ansel Adams iPad application. So here's what we can show you in the Ansel Adams application. When it opens up, it's got some beautiful Ansel Adams images, and then there is this scrolling navigation at the bottom. On the left, we have his 40 photographs that are included in this application. Letters and images, and this is really neat because you can actually see the actual scanned images of the letters and things that he sent back home, so all of his correspondence. Some postcards that he sent, and this is really funny because he had a lot of funny jokes that he sent, and so you see sort of the humor that he had. You have Ansel Adams films, so there's actually 3 videos of him talking and some documentaries. Then there's an interview here that's really pretty in-depth. You can send some e-cards that emulate some of the cards that he actually created, the postcards. And then there's web links. There's a chronology of all of his work. And so you can see what's happening by year and see sort of how he developed as an artist. There is his bibliography, so you can see all the books that are out there. There's an About link, and this is what I think is really funny because the whole application is about Ansel Adams, but here's one that's specifically about Ansel Adams. And then here are all the copyrights and credits that really clearly told us that we can't show the images in our review. So that gives you a high-level overview of what's inside the Ansel Adams application. Well, that's what we can show you of the Ansel Adams iPad application. What I'd like to do is to think of this as a nice coffee table book and a textbook all wrapped up into one. It's something that you can look, you can reference over and over, and it's well worth the $30 to really experience what Ansel Adams was all about. Well, thanks for joining me this week. Remember, if you have an iPad application you'd like me to review, please send that to askmark@adorama.com.
This episode is brought to you by Adorama TV. Visit the Adorama Learning Center, where you'll find photography tips and techniques, links to the gear used in this episode, and related videos. For all the latest photography, video, and computer gear, visit Adorama.com. And the next time you're in New York City, visit our store, located on 18th Street between 5th and 6th Avenue.